DNA is a powerful thing. Have you ever had anybody look at you and say, "Oh my gosh, you look like your mother's twin," or "I remember when she was a little girl, she looked just like you," or "Your daughters." I had one woman say to me once, "You look like you spit them out with no help from your husband at all." We are so amazingly the product of DNA miracles. What God decided to do, how you can reproduce a species by the grace of God's hand is amazing. Like you got your eyes from your Aunt Gloria. You got your voice from so-and-so. Did you ever call somebody's house and you heard a voice and you thought it was a person you were talking to, but it come to find out it was their sister or their brother, and you're like, holy cow, you guys sound so much alike. DNA, you guys are so powerful. I often think, I'm like, God, you're amazing, because it can be, and not only are what we hear, how your voices sound the same, or how you look the same, or how your body features, but your interests. A music can run in a family's DNA. You can have athleticism run in a family. Look at how many, think of some of the baseball players that their three generations have made it into the Major League Baseball or even in the NFL, things like that. We are definitely product of our DNA. And I don't always like when they say, you look, that's something your dad would have said. You're like, oh gosh. Or oh, you're acting just like your mother. And you're like, oh, shut up. When they say things like that to you, you know what I'm talking about. When people say, and it's meant more as an insult. All of us have experienced this because we're all product of DNA. But I was thinking, and I don't remember if I was in Mass or in my prayer time, but I was thinking the other day, I would be so honored for someone to say to me, "You remind me so much of your father. I see him in you." And them to be referring to my Father in heaven. Because when we ask God, or when we try to act as God, people will see God. When we love another human being, when someone says something snarky to you and you respond with love, people look at that because it's interesting. They see your Father. When they look at you, do they see your actions as reflecting your Father? Do they see the look on your face as reflecting your Father, your brother Jesus? The things we say, the things we do, the thoughts we think are all going to reflect who we are. I did do a talk on this a while ago, but the idea of my physical DNA changing every time I go receive the Eucharist. I'm like, I want to go. I go to daily Mass now, which I hadn't for decades. I'm like, oh, Lord, why didn't I? Why didn't I? But instead of begrudging why I didn't, now I'm grateful for every time I ingest the physical body of the God of the universe. I mean, we have this opportunity. We become that. Cells in my physical body are exchanged for the new cells that come in through this meal. You scientists must get it. You doctors must get it. You biologists get it. Whether I'm eating a carrot, a chocolate bar, ice cream, or the Eucharist, our cells are changed. Guys, if you can, receive the Eucharist as often as you can. Read the Bible as often as you can. Because you're filling your mind with thoughts of God. You're filling your body with his physical DNA, the heart. I believe it's the left ventricle of Jesus, which is just amazing, which we've learned that from Eucharistic miracles. But the more you do, the more you eat the body of Christ and drink his blood, you become more like God. You reflect the God of the universe. And then someone may come up to you and say, "You remind me of your Father." I can't think of a greater compliment. Can you? Let's go out and reflect our God. Become more like him. Change your DNA. Receive the Eucharist. Go to Mass. Go to confession. Receive the sacraments. Not only will you look like God, you'll reflect him. You'll sound like him. You'll walk like him. You'll think like him. You'll love like him. And that's why we're here. There's no better way to spread the gospel. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching this informational Bacon Bit. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.